So, what would you do if I told you there was a man that rode a bear into a hotel room, or even a horse right off the balcony, out a window, into a parade? Or what if I told you there was a man who had his right hand raised for over 50 years? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Mortika Lacrosse.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mortika Lacrosse, and it's time for another
Strange People in History.
That's right. Let's start the show.
So for the first strange people in history, we're going to talk about John Mightin, who was born September 30th, 1796, and died March 29th, 1834. His nickname was Mad Jack and also King of the Pickles. I'm not sure why he was known as King of the Pickles. I don't know. I couldn't find that in my research for the video of why he was called King of the Pickles, and it's a very odd name. Maybe he liked pickles. Maybe he liked, taking cucumbers and sticking it into vinegar and making pickles. I'm not sure. He was expelled from Westminster after 1 year for fighting a master. He was sent to Harrow School and expelled there 3 times until finally he dropped out and was taught by tutors. He liked to torment said tutors. He once left a horse in the tutor's bedroom with the door locked and everything, and then the tutor comes in and he's like, "There's a horse in my bedroom. Why is there a horse in my bedroom?" He afterwards went to Cambridge Trinity College, though he found university life boring, and he didn't actually get a degree from that particular said school. He joined the military, but spent most of his military career gambling and drinking. Once, to win a bet, he rode a horse into a hotel, up the stairs, and onto the balcony. He jumped while still on the horse over these diners and out a window into a parade. On several occasions, he hunted naked, even in winter. He even oddly got his stable boys to hunt rats with him. Yes, you heard me right. I'm not sure exactly why you would hunt rats, but yes, that's what this particular man did. He actually was able to convince his stable boys to hunt rats with him. He would run around naked in the middle of winter, jumping into the snowbanks, and actually wrestling the animals that he tried to hunt for food or whatever he was hunting for. He had over 2,000 dogs as pets. He loved being in accidents, in fact. All the time when people would ask him what he thought of how he was always in accidents, he replied as in he loved being in accidents. He loved every chance that he could get to get into accidents. It reminds me of the scene in Fight Club where Tyler Durden's like, "I don't want to die without any scars on me." He tried to cure his hiccups once by setting his cotton shirt on fire. And after he set his shirt on fire, he was running around and like, "Hey, I cured my hiccups." He would invite people to his parties. He would hide on the roads, dressed as a highwayman, and jump out and fire pistols at his guests, scaring them. Of course, he died March 29th, 1834, while in prison because of the debt he ran himself into. I also forgot to mention in that part that he once rode a bear. Yeah, so he got onto this bear, right? And he was riding on the bear, and then he rode into the room where everybody was on the bear, and he had the spurs on his boot and whatnot. And when he rode in, the bear was perfectly fine. The bear was going along with the practical joke until he took the spurs and right into the bear's side, and that's when the bear went crazy and actually bit him, and he fell off the bear laughing. So this man that's on the green screen, if I actually remember to put it on the green screen, up until 1973, this guy, Amar Bharati, was a married man with 3 children who worked in a small local bank in India. But since then, this man has decided to give up his humble life for the sake of world peace, and specifically to dedicate himself to the Hindu deity Shiva. He has had his right hand up and has not lowered it since then. Not only that, he said that in the first few years as he had his hand raised, it was very painful. But at some point, the pain just stopped. And people have suggested that he lost all the sensation in his arm, and the blood stopped flowing to the point where he can't lower it even if he wanted to. Others have argued that he could put it down, but ideologically, he doesn't do it because of his belief. But doctors and scientists have come to the conclusion that this man couldn't put down his hand even if he wanted to, because of the hand is literally dead now. There's no possible way he could put it down now because of how the blood flow and all that and the nerves are completely dead.
Chaos.
But I mean, talk about dedication to his faith. The fact that he has had his hand up like that since 1973 and has not lowered it down for any reason at all. That's why he's in this video of Strange People in History. Now, this next person in Strange People in History is this man with the biggest mouth in the world. As you can see, he has an entire can in his mouth. His name is Francis Domingo Joaquin. He's an ordinary man from the country of Angola with this extraordinary ability to open his mouth wide. He's the proud holder of the world record for the world's biggest mouth. His mouth measures 17 centimeters or 6.69 inches, and he can fit anything in it from soda cans to his own wallet. I wonder if this man even actually has to chew his own food. I mean, his mouth is so big. I guess he probably would still have to chew his own food since he has the biggest mouth, not the biggest esophagus. But the fact that he can fit an entire can, his wallet, and God knows what else in his mouth. Like, he could probably, like, open his mouth enough to where he could shove his whole entire hand in his mouth. But, yeah, that is crazy. And that's why he's in this Strange People in History video. Now, this next person in Strange People in History could be considered the real-life Mr. Freeze, if you will. His name is Wim Hoff. He's a Dutch world record holder, nicknamed the Iceman. He has this extraordinary ability to withstand any freezing temperatures, no matter how cold it is. He once submerged himself in an ice bath for 1 hour and 52 minutes. So basically, if you will, is if he was on the Titanic and that ship sank and he jumped off, he'd probably be the only survivor and would probably outlast Jack and Rose. You know, Jack and Rose from the Titanic movie. Anyways, I'm pretty sure you get the reference. But yeah, so he's the real life Iceman, Mr. Freeze. Like, he can withstand these, like, almost sub-zero temperatures, if you will. And that's why he's in this Strange People in History video. Could you just imagine that? I mean, literally, he's kind of like a real-life superhero or a real-life X-Men. I find that just fascinating, that he is able to withstand those kind of cold temperatures. Right now, as cold as it is where I live, he could probably just go out there in shorts or even naked, and he'd be like, I don't see what the big deal is. Okay, so this last strange person in history for this Strange People in History video is this man that is known as the real-life Charles Xavier, in a way, if you will. He's basically a hypnotist. His name is Alex Linke. He's a hypnotist with incredible powers of suggestion. His powers are so strong that a 68-year-old from Surrey, England, once underwent invasive ankle surgery without any anesthesia. This guy's powers of suggestion are just completely unbelievable and so incredible. So imagine that. Like, that's really crazy. His powers of suggestion as a hypnotist are so amazing that a 68-year-old was able to undergo very extensive surgery without any anesthesia at all.
God damn it.
Like, that is just crazy and incredible and so unbelievable that his powers of suggestion, if you will, are that powerful. Now, in the description bar down below, I'll have the links, if you will, to all the stories that were told in this Strange People in History video, if I remember to do that. And of course, all the usual links that are always down there and whatnot. But comment down below of what you thought of any of these stories that were in this Strange People in History video. I'd like to hear your feedback of what you thought of that. And if you have any ideas or suggestions for a future Strange People in History video, comment down below as well. Like I said, all the stuff will be in the description bar down below. If you like Strange People in History series, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of future Strange People in History videos. As always, like I said, I'd like to hear your feedback. Anyways, that's all we have time for this episode of Strange People in History. I've been your host, Mortika Lacrosse. As always, stay strange.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we'll be good to you. Be good to us, and we'll be good to you.